I'm Alicia Crank. I'm the Director of Leadership Mountain View. LMV is a 9-month civic and community leadership program that meets one Friday a month between September and May. And program members get to learn all the different facets of Mountain View, from business to education to arts and media. It's really just a great way for a community member or an employee that works in the city to know how Mountain View functions. The networking part of the program is really unique because, you do get the gamut of different people in the community that come and be a part of the program. So they're going to meet everyone from the educational leaders in the community, we're talking to superintendents, the teachers, all the way up to those who are managers at one of the local nonprofits, CHAC, CSA, Day Worker Center. Then you also get those who work for the big three in the city, which would be Google, Microsoft, and Intuit. So it really does run the gamut on who you're going to meet in this community. You learn so much about how this city works. You really get to see this inside focus on how these different departments work together as well as independently. You're also going to meet your elected officials in the city, whether it's your school board members, your city council members. It really does just give you an inside look on how this all comes together. There is a lot of programming and content that's put into each program days. It's almost overwhelming, but it's a compliment because we have a lot of these organizations that want to be part of the day. They want to share what they do, not only as a business or an entity, but how they bring that back into the Mountain View community. A lot of organizations that participate, a lot of the people that present, they're people that come back 2, 3, 4 times continuously because they enjoy the relationship with the program and also the program members that they meet. I want every program day to be the ability to walk away and say, it was absolutely worth it because I learned this. The second thing I like to try to get people to have out of the program is a sense of teamwork and camaraderie, that people are able to, share ideas with one another, to be able to create those relationships where there is discussion outside of the class to say, this is what I got out of it, and maybe person B got this other thing out of it, and kind of sharing these different nodes of information. So I want people to walk away knowing that if they have a question about a certain specific sector of this community or of this particular business, they know that now they can directly reach out to those people. I love networking, I love relationship management, so every year I'm going to get to know at least 30 different people. That includes the program members, any new presenters that may be introduced into the program, the expanded networks from the people that come through the program. I know that I'm going to always continuously meet new people, build upon relationships, and again, be able to leverage them in a way that they want to do something for LNV and that we want to be able to help them as well. Leadership Mountain View wants to be that community connector, and we're in a unique position to do it. I'm Alicia Crank. I am the outgoing Director of Leadership Mountain View, and welcome to our 3rd annual Community Luncheon. We came up with this idea about 3 years ago for a number of different reasons, and a lot of it was explained in that video, which is we wanted to have an event where alums can come back and see each other at least once a year in a networking format, get some free food, and also be able to show the rest of the community what the program is about, and not just hear it from the person that's paid to say that it's awesome, even though it is. So a lot of folks you're going to hear from today, other than me, are not paid to say how awesome this program is. In fact, there are people that have sat where you sat, literally, for a few of them, to learn more about what the program is, what it has done for their specific community need, and hopefully inspire you that if you're interested in going through the program, that this will kind of put you over the edge to be able to do it. Now, I am going to stop talking and start letting some of our speakers come up. And the first person I would like to ask to come up is Valerie KLAZURA. She is a recent graduate of Leadership Mountain View. And so I don't have to come up here all the time. She is going to be followed by Davis White, and then Sergeant Saul Yeager, and Captain Melton Wong.
Thank you. Hello. So yes, I am Valerie KLAZURA, and I am a recent graduate, i.e. last Friday, of the best class ever, class of 2015. And those of you who know me might be thinking, okay, Val, you don't work in Mountain View, and you don't even live in Mountain View anymore. So why did you do Leadership Mountain View? Yeah, the answer? I love Mountain View. I love Mountain View. And I lived in Mountain View for 17 years. 5 years ago, we burst out of our house by having one more child. So we're up to 3, that we're done. But anyway, and so we moved to a neighboring city. And while we lived in Mountain View for 17 years, friends of mine had told me time and time again how wonderful Leadership Mountain View was. And I had always intended on doing it, but I dragged my feet. And finally, this past year I had an opportunity to sign up for the program, and I am so glad I did. Every single month was so exciting, wonderful, educational, and just phenomenal. Each month you have a different theme and a different leadership theme as well. So I guess one of my favorite days during the year was the public safety theme day. And the leadership, the leadership theme for that day was fair assessments and judgments. So just to give you a little idea of what happens on any given program day, in the morning we had a wonderful tour of the Mountain View Police Station. And as Alicia says, we can never guarantee that what happens one year will happen the next, or what you see will happen the next year. And well, we got to see meth, and that was pretty interesting. I've never seen that before, and I hope I never do again, unless I'm at the police station, not behind the cage. But anyway, okay, so it was really exciting, really just eye-opening, and I felt, you know, very safe. This was like a bus that the police had been looking for a long time. Wow, we got to see it on the morning of, so that was incredible. And all of the speakers are very, very knowledgeable and so open to the Leadership Mountain View students, so that's awesome. In the afternoon, we got to go to the fire department, and I guess I probably shouldn't say what we got to do because it was so special that I don't know if, you know, what they would have in store for upcoming classes, but it was amazing. First of all, okay, men in uniform. All right, that was Lawrence, yeah? And, but we also had the chief or sergeant, he's in our class, and Lawrence in our class was a firefighter. So it was super, super awesome to have our classmates help put together some of the program days. And bottom line is that we learned a heck of a lot. And if you've been thinking about Leadership Mountain View, my advice to you is stop dragging your feet and just sign up. It's awesome. And Davis White is next.
Thank you, Valerie. My name is Davis White. I work here at Google, so welcome to our quad office. I was told, not asked, I was told by Alicia to speak about what Leadership Mountain View can do for your business, which is kind of a odd role for me at the beginning because I was in that bucket of the students that didn't know what they were getting into. I signed up in the summer. John Igo, one of my bosses at Google and on the chamber board, he said, you should do this program. It's fantastic. And I signed up and immediately got about 100 emails from Alicia and realized that she liked feedback data more than Google does, which is tough. But I tried to fill out all the forms. And on Friday night during the graduation ceremony, Oscar was saying for the people like me who didn't know what they were getting into that a lot of you showed up on the first day and you were late and you didn't really care that you were late. And it's like, well, I was a little late. And then I left a little early and because I had to go pick up my child and I got like a really mean email. So I said, well, I guess I really have to attend this thing now. And then every Thursday afternoon, I would kind of think the same thing, which is I think I'm so busy and I don't have time for a full day. And then every Friday I would leave and think, that was amazing. I learned so much. And I'm really glad that I did it. And I'm glad that I got to meet a few dozen members of my class, which is widely acknowledged around the region as the best class ever in the program. So that was great. But beyond being great people, they really are leaders in Mountain View. And literally in the next 2 weeks, I have 6 meetings with my classmates to talk about some items that we're going to work to try to partner on with Google. I'm going to meet with Saba, NASA, and Katie with the Teen Center and CSA. And we're having lunch with Bruce next week to talk about how Google can work with the 529. Meeting with Google.org and ILA in 3 weeks, I think, to see if we can partner up there. So it's a fantastic program. If you don't want to do it for yourself, do it for the business networking opportunities. I would encourage everyone to apply for 2016 because I had a phenomenal experience. So thank you so much, and I'll turn it over to the sergeant.
Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you for coming. Thank you, alumni. Thank you, LMV. Like our recent student said, when Alicia told us that we had to speak, we actually prepared tirelessly and long for this. As soon as we graduated our respective classes, we prepared for this speech this moment today.
Right. So I was preparing in 2012. But in all seriousness, the beauty of a program like this is the collaboration, cooperation, and the relationships that have been built that lead into friendships and business relationships that we've seen throughout. Those are really, really common.
As you know, our job is very dynamic. At any moment, we can go out to a call, to engagements, to bank fashions, and everything. So to save time, up on the screen, those are our leadership Mountain View and public safety relationships with what we've gotten out of the class and what most of you gotten out of the class.
And as previously mentioned, Public Safety Day is always voted unanimously the best day. And in that, there's a lot of examples of why, but before we even get into those, there's always this little competition between the fire department and the police department, things that we don't get along or whatever. And I'm glad to say that we do. Yeah, I like you. I like you too. So of course, I do have to kind of advocate a little bit. The police department's day that we have for Public Safety Day is, I'd say, a little bit better than the fire department. So we had one group. Valerie kind of ruined one of ours, but we did have one group that got to shoot our less lethal beanbag guns at a target. That's pretty cool.
Sorry to ruin the future, but this process past year, we burned a room up.
Okay. Well, we had a class that got to see our canines in action, actually take a flight from not a classmate. Nobody got hurt at all. It was an officer. And funny evidence, they got to see the canines.
So we burned up a room. If you want to add something, we also got a car.
Okay, that's pretty cool. But we had one year where we had our SWAT guys out there, and we had everybody put on the SWAT gear, holding guns. I think there's a picture of Alicia holding a machine gun, if I remember, which is terrifying.
song, We Burned Up a Room. I'm pretty sure everybody here without fire with the fire extinguisher as well. So.
Okay, well, like Valerie already killed the joke. Thanks. We did have the last class got to actually see methamphetamine for real, right in front of them as a process. They didn't kill any cases. Again, so I didn't know my boss was going to be here. But, yeah, so they got to actually see meth and see how it's processed through evidence, and you know that part of the police work that people don't do basic.
We burned up a room. Burned up a room. Yeah, we actually had the group climb the ladder truck, but that's no longer that's our secret.
Okay, all right, you know what, you win. I'm sorry, you guys are way cooler.
And honestly, thank you so much. We have
Only 5 out of 40,
interacting with everybody in LMB. We've been sending somebody through the fire department and the started for a long time now. And there's nothing that we look forward to.
5 out of 40 continue, and Captain 1 responds to a major injury accident at Allison 101. 3 vehicles involved.
Sorry, there you go.
Copy. Right away.
So knowing those guys, I'm very afraid of what they have in store for us. I think that was only part one of what they're planning. But I did want to take this time to also actually thank the fire and police unions for being our sponsors for today, as well as Google and Shoreline Amphitheater. And in the true nature of leadership, sometimes you have to do things at the last minute, be called upon to step up to the plate when you are just hoping to just eat from your plate. Kevin Chappello from Recology could not make it. He had a last-minute emergency, but I did ask his colleague, who is a graduate of this past year's program, CELIA White, if she would pinch hit. So in the true nature of leadership and teamwork, she and her cohort, fellow classmate, KAVITA ALYAR, are going to come up and share about something that they did as part of their Leadership Mountain View project that I would consider to be a legacy project.
So we were told, not us, about 5 minutes ago. Yeah. So we don't have a little spiel prepared like Meredith said, unfortunately, but we do have a really cool project to share with you guys that we actually just did on Wednesday. So Recology actually sponsored this, so in a way it's tied to maybe what Kevin was already wanting to talk about. We installed an edible garden at the VALERTE Center just this past Wednesday, the 20th.
And we actually were intending to install a garden at the teen center, but that didn't work out. So in the true spirit of leadership and flexibility, we wanted to grow a garden somewhere. So we were trying to find, where does this garden go? And actually, when we talked to the Day Worker Center, and some of you may know Maria, the executive director there, we realized actually that was the right place to install a garden. So we're really excited that that worked out.
Absolutely. We got there at 8 a.m. on Wednesday after countless hours of planning and late night phone calls. I could not have asked for a better team. We actually had another teammate, Jan, who was in our group, who couldn't be here today. But we started at 8 a.m. on Wednesday and we ended at 7:30 at night. Working with the day workers was an absolute pleasure. They're amazing. They knew everything. We had some last minute challenges with the irrigation installation. They were just on it. So we built 9 wooden beds from scratch, and then we filled them with soil, and then we installed a little sign that says this garden made possible by Recology Mountain View and Leadership Mountain View. So if you guys want to see that sign, stop at the Day Worker Center, see the growing garden.
So the plan for the Day Worker Center and the garden beds is to grow those vegetables. So we planted everything from watermelon to zucchini, cilantro, and the day workers have 2 meals at the center. They have breakfast and lunch. And Maria's intention is to really use the healthy vegetables to provide healthy meals for the day workers. And then whatever's left over, the day workers can take home to their families, and they will also have access to healthy produce at home. So Santa Clara County, if you didn't know, has the highest income disparity in all of the United States. And a lot of people are impacted by that income disparity because they don't have regular access to healthy food. So this is one small step to help address that problem. So that felt really good as well, that we were doing our part to try to address some of the issues that are facing our community.
Absolutely, and as Alicia mentioned, this could be a legacy project for future classes. Installing edible gardens throughout the city is just a good thing in general. So we would love if future classes would take that apart and start something big with it.
Yeah. And we've actually already been approached by a couple of folks to look at installing edible gardens in other places around Mountain View where there's populations that need access to healthy produce. And so we're looking into that. So we're hoping we can also help continue that legacy. So.
Which one am I supposed to take? This one? Hello? 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 There we go. Hi, I'm Tom Myers. I'm Executive Director of Community Services Agency, better known as CSA to a number of you. And it's my pleasure to be here to talk to you about, also a class of 2001. Yeah. Class of 2001 alumni of LMV. Many of you who have been in more recent classes know that I've talked to you on Social Service Day, Social and Human Service Day, about needs in Santa Clara County. And then many of you come over to CSA, not only to do projects, but also during your visits to local nonprofits. And while we don't burn things up, or let you see meth, I mean, how do you follow that? We can't do that. We'll let you give away some government cheese. Not quite as exciting in our world, but still very much necessary. And I can tell you that Leadership Mountain View, from my point of view as the executive director of a local nonprofit, is incredibly important. There are few communities in this country, I say that and that may sound like hyperbole, but it's not. There are few communities in this country where people are as active and involved and engaged in local issues as they are here in Mountain View. And part of that activity and involvement, as the two previous speakers mentioned, was seeing the needs that are available in the community for us to address. We try and address those at CSA, and there are a lot of other nonprofits that try and address those needs as well. Part of addressing it, though, isn't just hiring social workers or getting hundreds of volunteers or whatever. Part of addressing that is making sure that people who are connected to your organization are informed and educated about the community. And not just about the needs that we have. You know, as was said, you know, there's a need for healthy food. There's we have the highest income disparity in the country here in Santa Clara County. That's no surprise to a lot of people in the room. But there's a lot of needs. There's a lot of aspects to this community that go way beyond social and human services. And so that's why, as an organization at CSA, we're committed almost every single year of making sure we have at least one employee, or sometimes two, and every once in a while we've had even more than that, but at least one employee go through the LMV program. It's important that we, as a community safety net, know this community that we're serving. So our staff, whether they live here in Mountain View or not, whether they live in neighboring communities, or whether they actually have to commute quite a distance, we want them to know the community that we're serving. Because the community that we're serving needs CSA to be informed. So that's why I think if you're a nonprofit executive out there, or if you're a member of any kind of group whatsoever that has interactions with the community, make sure your people know. Because I am a classic example. I went into LMV in 2001 thinking, you know, I know all this. I know this community. And I got in there and boy, it was an eye-opener. I didn't know that. Yeah. So that's very important, and that's why it's very important for us to be involved. So I encourage you, if you have any questions, if you're interested in knowing how CSA approaches LMV, to give me a call, and I'll be more than happy to evangelize you over the phone. Oh, and now, without further ado, As chair, actually, another role I have is I am chair-elect of the Board of Directors of the Chamber of Commerce. And so, as of July 1, I take over from Cynthia Greaves. Yay! And so, as chair-elect of the Chamber of Commerce, it is my pleasure to introduce our president and CEO, the illustrious Oscar Garcia.
Thank you, Todd. So, I think all of you know that I'm Alicia's boss, and I too was told that I needed to speak. She has influence, she has power. So, anyways, we're supposed to talk about making leadership outreach better. And first of all, before I do that, let's give the LMV Council team a big round of applause. I think it was really nice. I also want to welcome the LMV family, all of you, whether you've gone through the program, supported the program, or haven't gone through the program. It's Leadership Mountain View, and one way or another, you either live here, work here, or someone always said love Mountain View, so thank you very much. This is a great program. Some of you have heard me say this before, that other leadership programs in other cities come to us and ask for advice on what they can do for their program. And, you know, through the LMV Council and the sponsors, we've done a great job of every year improving and doing great things, whether it's revamping or adding things. For example, one of my favorite days, and it just happened, fortunately I wasn't able to be there, I was at a conference, but it was going through NASA and the wind tunnel and all the things that very few people in this community have the ability to go and experience that. But what makes LMV great, yes, it's programs and so forth, but you know what really makes LMV great is all of you. It's the people that support it. We all know that an organization is only as great as the people that are a part of that organization. And it does take money to be able to support this organization. You notice the last part of the tag, or not tagline, but the name of the program says fundraiser. It's a fundraiser, and some of the money that we get, yes, goes to cover the cost of the programs, overhead, but we also provide scholarships to folks. And knowing that some of you sitting here today have been beneficiaries of those scholarships. And when you give to Leadership Mountain View, you're not only giving back to your community, but we have close to about 600 people that have come to Leadership Mountain View. And many of those folks go on to other cities and get involved in those communities. And these are the people that really make things happen in those communities that love giving back and helping and improving their communities. And one way or another, we end up benefiting from the fact that these people are willing to get involved. So think about it that way, is really an investment in our community here, whether you donate $25 or $100 or whatnot. And if you look, we actually have some table cabinets. Those table cabinets, you guys can raise your hands. Yes, there we go. We have 2 table cabinets here. But there is some information here in terms of donations, and thank you to, for example, Live Nation Shoreline. If you do donate $100 or more, you enter into the chance of drawing for Shoreline Amphitheater concert lawn seats. If you give $200 or more, it says here, enter the chance drawing for one of 2 sets of Shoreline Amphitheater VIP concert packages. It says, wow, this is pretty cool. Dinner, parking, and 2 concert tickets of your choice. It's based on availability here. And this is actually donated by Councilmember Rosenberg and Vice Mayor Schulholm. So thank you very much to the both of you. All right. Do you have any Niner fans in here? Despite last year's season, you guys are true. Joanne's not here. No, but also thanks to the 49ers and especially Joanne Pasternak. So if you donate $200, you're also eligible to receive 49ers 2015 training camp So we do have that. Yes? Over 200? Okay. So 200, there you go, 201 and more. So please, do help us out with donating today. Again, this is, it's true what they say, there's no such thing as a free lunch. Anyways, thank you very much, and I do want to turn it over to our two incoming LMB Council chairs. Where are you guys? There.
Well, as we all know, today is Alicia's last day, and we're very disappointed about that, but we also know you're going to be starting a new opportunity and new challenges in your life, and a new road to successes. So for us, first we'd like to invite you up and give you this lei to match your beautiful dress. I'll leave it. So Alicia has been, as you know, very, very important to this community, and not just the leadership program. And I'm gonna try not to cry here.
It's not happening.
She brought me in 4 years ago. The many hats that she wore, she actually was the KMVT president of our board of directors. And she hired me. And 3 days later said, guess what, you're doing Leadership Mountain View. What the heck is Leadership Mountain View? What did I get myself into? And it was the best thing in my life that ever happened, so thank you. Leadership Mountain View for me was an amazing opportunity to meet everyone in the community that I know today, but really get to know what this community is about and the way that this community gives back. It was a way to get to know my employees. I had actually my colleague, my operations director, who's here today, Bobby Chastain, was in my class as well. So it was a chance to actually work side by side and get to know your new employees, as well as learn the community and get to know Alicia. Over time, we become really, really good friends as well. And it's been an honor to support you and be on the council with our team and the committee, who did a great job today of organizing this event. So thank you to our committee and to the outgoing chair. And so on behalf of that, we have gotten your lei as well as your card. Thank you. There's a few more things coming, but they didn't show up today. So that being said, I just want to say thank you for all you've done. And now we have a special tribute for you. So if you wouldn't mind just maybe standing right over there.
Anywhere.
Over next to Oscar. Where's my sheet? Roxanne here emailed me at midnight last night and said, okay, how do we do this? How do we make this work, right? Because as leaders, we're all very busy and get tied up with time. And so we said, okay, we've got a plan. And so when Saul called me and said, I have a plan, I thought, let's make this work. So here we go. Our 70s tribute to Alicia, not to age you here. This is it.
It's been a blockbuster ride.
Many boogie nights.
You took a walk on the wild side.
You've crossed over the bridge of troubled water.
If we don't know you by now,
we will never, never know you. All the things that we've been through, you should understand us like we understand you. Now, Alicia, we know the difference between right and wrong. We ain't going to do nothing to upset our happy town. Oh, don't get so excited when we come to a class a little late, because we only act like children when we argue, fuss, and wait.
We all got our own funny moods. We've got ours. Woman, you've got yours too. Trust in us like we trust in you. As long as we've been together, that should be easy to do. Just get yourself together, or we might as well say goodbye.
Goodbye to you, our trusted friend. We've known each other since we were 39 or 10. Together we've climbed hills and trees, learned to love our ABCs, skinned our hearts and skinned our knees. We had joy, we had fun, we had seasons in the sun.
But the wine and the song, like the seasons, will never be gone. You tried to teach us right from wrong. Never too much wine or too much song. I wonder how we got along. Goodbye, Alicia, it's hard to cry when all the birds are singing in the sky. Now that the spring is in the air, every time that we were down, you would always come around and get our feet back on the ground. It's not goodbye, but until next time.
We have more than a feeling.
So happy that our paths have crossed.
Bye-bye, baby.
Don't ever forget September is art and wine.
There will be tears on our pillows.
But we know that you will take on the world.
Continue to play that funky music.
The most beautiful girl.
We don't know when we will see you again,
but we know we will. The last farewell before you take the
midnight train to Seattle.
You've been voted the best of Mountain View.
Never stop doing what you do or being who you are.
Goodbye to you, our trusted friend.
We love you.
We appreciate you. We thank you. And we wish you the best.
So now, that being said, our local elected officials also wanted to recognize Alicia's hard work and contributions that she's brought to Mountain View and to the community on a greater value, on a greater area. And in honoring that, they've brought resolutions forward that are to thank Alicia for what she's done and all the work that she's put forth in this community. You're going to be greatly missed, and thank you for all that you've done. If I can ask Lisa Chung from Senator Jerry Hill's office, Anna Coe from Assemblymember Rich Gordon's office, Ellen Kamei from County Supervisor Joe Simidian's office, and Mayor John McAllister from the City of Mountain View to come to the stage. And Alicia, if you would come to the stage and accept your proclamations.
Feels so out of control.
This is why we get to have the control and we don't.
Oh, should we grab? I'm not.
Oh, we can do it this way?
Sure.
Yeah. Alicia, I mean, this is so bad. I'm gonna marry your two names together. I'm Lisa Chung with Senator Hill's office, and I'll go first since I represent a senator. On behalf of Senator Hill, we would like to present this joint resolution to you. Senator Hill was one of the many people that Alicia told to talk one time. I'm the kind of person who's supposed to get between Alicia and my boss so that I can tell him what she told me, but my guess is that you probably just told him to do. And for that, I think that's the reason why Leadership Mountain View is such a success. Thank you.
Thank you, darling.
Alicia, I have the pleasure of calling you my friend. You are such an amazing person. You have quite an extensive experience all across different fields within business and the financial sector, nonprofit boards, school districts, democratic organizations, city commissions, and everyone that has had the joy of working with you sing your praises about your leadership, and not just leadership, but leadership development, which is critical in sustaining an organization, and about your strategic planning, your relationship managing, and your passion and sense of responsibility for the community. And with your leadership, Leadership Mountain View has taken large strides, and for that the community is grateful. Thank you, Alicia, and you will be sorely missed. Thank you, John.
Well, Mountain View is a great city. It's run well, it's financially stable, and we do that by recognizing people like you and keeping our recognition simple. You can see the state has deficits, the county has deficits, but Mountain View is strong. Last Friday, I was handing out certificates, again very nicely done by us, to the students at graduates. And I'm walking up, and Lisa goes, stand here. And I was told I could just hand out the certificates. No. She says, John, can you say a few words? And I did. But I didn't say any words about you. So, today, I'm not being told what to say. It's my pleasure and honor to say things to you. And with that, again, you make the city part, every one of these is a component of making the city great. I've known you since 2008. We sat at a table, we broke bread together, we broke other things together. And I've just seen how you blossom and stayed involved with the city and made it so much better for everyone. Because everyone that has been with you is going to keep going, and you are a living legacy. And everybody out here is a legacy of you. So thank you on behalf of the City of Mountain View, my colleagues. Thank you so much.
Great, thanks. So I have a confession. There is only one class that I've missed for when I was in LMB, and that was Government Day, which is like the most notorious, like great class, and there's definitely somebody who never lets me forget that I missed Government Day, and that's Alicia. But now that I work for County Supervisor Committee, I got to sit in when he did 13 tips for this year's class, so that was really great, and got to experience a little bit of that. But all of you know that Alicia wears her hat for LMV, but she also is very civically minded, been on commissions, ran for council, and this is also, we all kind of got together and wanted to recognize you for that part of what you do for the city as well. So you're not only involved with LMV, but you're giving back in terms of giving all of your service to us, your full heart. And we are going to miss you so much. I'm going to stop my comments here before I tear up, but we just really appreciate you and you'll be missed. Thank you.
Thank you guys, much appreciated. Now, if we haven't sold you on joining LMV yet and signing up, then you might as well leave now. Because we do have the best class. We all think we're the best class, and I'll say 2012 was the best class. Woo-hoo.
No, 2014. 2014.
But we have a great time. It's a lot of learning, and you're going to get called to the floor when you don't necessarily want to be called to the floor to do things, but it's a lot of fun. It makes you a better leader in your community and really puts you in a place where you can move forward and do lots of fun things and really get to know a lot of great people and have friends that will be here for a really, really long time. So thank you. I'm going to hand over the microphone now to Alicia, and hope you guys had a great day.
It's so weird not being in charge and not knowing what's supposed to happen. Thank you all so much. I just really want to wrap up this official part, but please hang out and eat more, because I see tons of dessert on the tables and they need to be eaten. But I do want to thank everyone that's here today, whether you're a graduate, thinking about going through the program, has been a supporter. Leadership Mountain View has a face, it has the director, and I've been very happy to hold that torch for the past 6 years. But there's really so many people behind the scenes that make everything work. So from my LMV council, past and present, thank you for putting up with me and investing in some ideas that we didn't think was going to work. 3 years ago, when we decided to do this, I said, let's do it the Friday of Memorial Day weekend. And they're like, no, no one's gonna come, and it's not gonna work out, and now here we are at our third of many. So many people are involved in the planning of the program day that I get to get credit for, but we always have, Ed Fight and Hoagies giving us, helping us up with breakfast every year. We have other restaurants that are a part of the equation. We have the support of the city to be able to utilize their facilities and their employees, including police and fire. We're the only one in the community, honestly, in the Bay Area, where public safety goes through the program. It's unheard of everywhere else, but we have that. And I recognize those sacrifices of time and resources to be able to make that happen. So our folks in the school districts who come through the program and are able to let us know what's really happening and letting us know how we can continue to help them as a community. To our small business owners, everyone. It's so many people behind the scenes that execute that long Friday that you dread in the morning, but so grateful that you were able to get, that you did it by the end of the day. Some people have referred to my legacy. And honestly, I would say my legacy is that you guys continue to do stuff like this.
and that the classmates who are here today continue to see each other. I'm not crying. I think there's a secret bed at the chamber that's going to try to make me cry. It's not. But I sincerely thank all of you, even in the moments where you think that she doesn't understand or that we're all too busy. It's events like this that I think highlight how every person brings it together. So I hope that got you emotional enough to donate. Because I got some quotas to make, and I want to make sure that we can, have those scholarships to bring people through. And I do want to thank our corporate sponsors like Google and LinkedIn who are here today. Saying hi, Katie. Hello. Hi, Davis. These are folks who have gone through the program, saw its value, and went back to their companies and said, we need to give more so we can bring people through this program. And that's just because of their experience. And that experience has a lot to do with all of you in this room. So I would gladly take the credit as I walk off the stage. And I ask also as part of the legacy that you embrace the new L&V director, Paul Senady. So Paul, it's going to take you a year or two before you can start telling people what to do. So ask nicely, then get some blackmail. But otherwise, thank you all so much. Thank you for making my tenure as fun as it possibly could be, for making my residency here in Mountain View the past 15 years as gratifying as it has been. Now I'm going to go up to this little town called Edmonds, Washington, and whip them into shape. So you haven't heard the last of me. Thank you all very much.